Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Wednesday afternoon. Welcome into this another edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Brett Pritchard, and we'll be with you for the next hour, taking your comments and talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. Kind of a big news day. Yesterday, a lot of news broke across the sports world, a lot of it pertaining to Auburn, some of it not. One of the headlines, Joe Brady leaving LSU for the offensive coordinator position at the Carolina Panthers. Kind of an interesting move. We've been hearing for about 2 or 3 weeks now how Ed Orgeron had a plan to keep Joe Brady. There was a plan in place. All signs pointed to Joe Brady being back in Baton Rouge. Everybody felt like he would be back, and then about 10 minutes after the national championship game, he said, oh, yeah, by the way, I'm going to Carolina. And, hey, cash in on your success right now. He's the hottest name in coaching, so kind of an interesting move there. What does that mean for LSU next year? I think we all kind of wondering about that. I think we all kind of wonder about that. Auburn hires Tim Hudson. Randy made mention of that yesterday on the show. It kind of ended. Auburn's new pitching coach, Tim Hudson. Yeah. The guy's got a lot of pedigree. Steve Smith takes a head coaching position, vacating that pitching coach at Auburn. So Butch Thompson's been a pitching coach pretty much his whole career. But he said, look, I came to Auburn to be the head coach. And I thought it was interesting. He made a point to say that I didn't hire Tim Hudson because of his history with Auburn. He's one of Auburn's, all-time great players. But he said, I hired him because I think he's going to do the best job of anybody in the country in doing the pitching coach. Think about the knowledge that he has and the experience that he has. And it's just kind of a natural fit because Hudson lives close to Auburn or right outside Auburn.
And he happened to be part of a great run at Auburn. I trust Butch in what he's saying, but it's just a perfect combination. He's an Auburn guy plus his pedigree. Yeah. Anybody would be glad to have Tim Hudson. The name alone, being able to go out and recruit, who wouldn't want to go play for that guy?
Absolutely. So, Josh Donaldson, speaking of Auburn baseball, leaves the Braves, signs a free agent deal with the Minnesota Twins. 4 years, $92 million for that young man.
A lot of people were wondering where he was in his career, and he was able to catapult back into the limelight this year with the Braves, and the Braves just weren't willing to pull the trigger and pay him what he wanted. And, hey, look, it's all about looking out for yourself. When you get to the age Josh Donaldson is, and he signed probably his last big contract of his career, 4 years, $92 million, and man, he goes out with a bang.
No question about that, and good for him to be able to do that, and glad that he came to the Braves for that year, the rainmaker. It's going to be raining a lot in Minneapolis, I hope.
It will be, yeah. Season. Still pulling for him.
Yeah. The Red Sox baseball scandal continues to fall out from it. A.J. Hinch, of course, losing his job as well as the GM for the Houston Astros, who won the World Series 2 years ago. 3 years ago, the Red Sox won the World Series. Alex Cora was the toast of the town. He and the Red Sox, quote unquote, mutually agreed to part ways. Do you think they ought to forfeit? Do you think they ought to be stripped of those World Series titles? Red Sox and the Astros.
Did they cheat to get them?
Yes.
Then yes. What else do you need to answer? If you get caught, you probably can go back through sports history and go, well, they cheated, or what about that? Well, was it proven? No. Well, then if you don't have any proof, then nothing you can do about it. If you prove that somebody actually blatantly broke the rules to gain an advantage, isn't that what the rules say?
Yeah.
They did it the wrong way. They did it by cutting corners. They did it by trying to gain an unfair advantage. So was USC stripped of their national championship in 2004? Was Reggie Bush stripped of the Heisman Trophy?
Yes.
Okay, well then that answers the question in my opinion.
And that's for not anything they did on the field. That's for something that happened off the field.
To me, it's worse. Well, in NCAA, it's different because all that plays in. In pro ball, it's about what you do on the field. And so the integrity of the sport, baseball finally fought its way back from being in the doldrums of the steroid era and having to battle all that and trying to clean its reputation up. And then here comes this. It's just they have notoriously been caught up in scandals since the very early days. The Black Sox issue, and I mean, you can just name different things. The Pete Rose, all the way through history, there's always something that comes up and taints baseball.
Well, you think about that, and I'm glad you brought that up because that's an interesting aspect of this. And to me, there's two different things we have to look at. Number one, people have been stealing signs for 100 years in baseball. That's just part of it. Now, if you got a guy standing on second base and he's you're not being as covert as you need to be, and he steals the sign and is able to relay it to the batter, hey, good for them. Because that's kind of accepted. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
You're trying to gain an advantage. But when you're using electronic surveillance,
Yeah.
and this is, you've got a coordinated effort, and this is going on.
Did they learn from
now,
the New England Patriots?
Here's the other part of that. Pete Rose, and I was talking to Brad before the show. Pete Rose, clearly bet on baseball, but it's never been proven that he ever did anything to affect the game that wasn't positive. Didn't try to win a game.
Yeah, he was betting on his own team.
He was betting on his own team. So he's banned for life. These guys cheated the game, won a World Series, and what's the difference?
There's no difference.
So, and they don't get any punishment at all.
And that's not right. And, what did Hinch get banned from baseball for 1 year? They get a 1 year suspension?
So, I don't know.
What did Alex Rodriguez get? Didn't he have to sit out for a year and a half? Something like that.
Maybe so.
It hadn't been fair. The judgments that have been levied on guys since Pete Rose hadn't been fair. Ryan Braun. What all happened with him? Brett Boone. Lots of different guys that you can come up with and name since Pete Rose. There's other guys that have been guilty of. That steroid era was the worst. There's a couple of names there. We can go through all different types of. Barry Bonds. Nobody even knows who really is the home run leader anymore. Baseball has been a victim of its own scandals. It's just it's this self-inflicted wounds, and baseball was in such a doldrum when Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire were going on that home run chase that they knew something was going on, and they chose to turn blind eyes to it because it was garnering so much attention. But for the short term, it was great. For the long term, they sold themselves out, and it took them forever to fight through all this and get back to this. And then now you got whole organizations in on cheating to try to win a World Series. So I don't know what the end result is going to be out of this. And these aren't the only two teams that have been doing it, Andy.
Oh, no.
The word is on the street, the Yankees are next. Who else follows after them? The Dodgers have been doing it. I hate to go ahead and just call somebody out, but and the word is that they've been involved as well. So what do you think ought to happen to them?
It's got to be some heavy punishment.
You just call it balls and strikes.
Do what?
You just call it balls and strikes.
Yeah.
Balance, yeah.
What do they need to do?
I think you're right, and I like I said, I told Caleb this last night. When it started, I thought it was maybe a much ado about nothing, but I think I've worked myself into believing, yes, I think they need to be stripped of the World Series titles. I think a precedent needs to be set. You got the natural order of baseball, but when you go outside that,
does that explain why Houston hit so many home runs?
At home? Yeah, at home. Well, it's inexplicable that the Nationals win every game in Houston to win the World Series and lose every game at home. And maybe that's the baseball gods, wreaking havoc on Houston or paying them back. I don't know, but yeah, they brought it up. Altuve's record in that World Series with the Dodgers, he hit like 340 at home, and I think he had 2 hits on the road.
I'm just telling you, man. It just seemed like he knew exactly what was going.
Yeah.
When you go back now and look in hindsight, it just looks like, man, when you know they're about to groove a fastball. I mean,
Well, who was it? Was it Altuve? Yeah, Altuve hitting the home run off of the Yankees closer.
Off of
I can't remember.
the big tall guy,
Yeah.
one throw, or Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah, Aroldis Chapman. Do you know that? I mean, maybe everybody knew that was coming. I don't know, but he turned on it like he knew the pitch.
Hey, no doubt. And if you got an advantage, I mean, if you know what he's about to throw, especially as hard as he throws, and you can kind of get ready for it, I mean.
Yeah. Penn State, former players suing the university and James Franklin over an alleged hazing incident. I don't know how much you've read about this, Brett, but it sounds. I mean, how in the world could you? How could this happen
To Penn State again.
Well, I mean, the play. I mean, if you're a coach, if you're James Franklin, and you got any inkling that something like this is going on, and you don't do anything about it, what world are you living in?
I don't know, man. It just really.
We're going Sandusky, you? I mean, are you kidding me?
It just really makes you lose a lot of faith in humanity. I'm serious. I mean, I want you to, and we can carry this over to the next segment, but as a parent that has a child that plays sports, you put a lot of, especially those have been fortunate enough to move on and play college, when those coaches come in and they give you a sales job on what their program stands for and all that, I'll save it for the next, I know we got to go to break. I want to keep talking about that one now. You lose faith in what people really say, and it's a wonder why people are so apprehensive to do anything or go in a certain direction.
We're up against our first break here on the Auburn Blitz, but hey, don't go anywhere. We'll
Start the new year off with something new during the Start Something New sales event at Bice Motors. Lease a 2019 Dodge Challenger SXT for $319 a month with 0 down. 2020 Ram Bighorn Crew Cab for $349 a month. 2020 Jeep Gladiator for $329 a month. And to honor our first responders, get an additional $500 rebate.
Come see us in Alex City.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Hidley Towers is an affordable senior citizen community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East, where spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living, where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more about Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552, where your family at Hidley Towers. That's 256-329-0552.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Alex City Marines, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, and the Yerkes invite you by to see what they have available today. The 2020 Manitous and Landaus are in, and boy, are they gorgeous. Also, some great deals on demos. Take advantage of that while they last. Alex City Marine also is doing shrink wrapping, storage. Get in line now. In fact, call this number, 256-215-FISH. Alex City Marine, Alex City.
A&M A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
From the smallest drippy faucet to drain cleaning to water heater replacement to gas lines to total systems replacement, A&M Plumbing handles it all. Visit amplumbing.net today for the experienced, licensed, and insured pros at A&M Plumbing.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
The Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales in Opelika has the largest selection of prestige cars, trucks, and SUVs in Central and East Alabama, all with financing available, little to no money down, and extended warranties. Get pre-qualified in under 2 minutes, online or from your mobile device at GillsPrestigeOnline.com. It's the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Start the new year.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you for about 45 more minutes in today's show. I always like to remind you we're brought to you each and every day by Russell Do-It Center with 10 locations around Central Alabama for all your building supply needs, home decor, tools, whatever it might be. Go and check out Russell Do-It Center, one of our great corporate partners here on the Auburn Blitz. Also, Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team. Eric's been in business for over 20 years, knows it backwards and forwards. He and his team always looking out for the best interests of their clients. Mortgage Pro is located right here in Alexander City, but they service the entire state of Alabama, and they are saving people money each and every day. It is a great time to refinance. If you bought a home in the last couple of years, you could be saving a ton of money. So give them a call today, 256-397-0248. We're talking about no origination fee, no money out of pocket. You might even be able to skip a month of your mortgage payment. You can't find a better deal than that. 256-397-0248. That's Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team. We were talking about, the latest scandal at Penn State. Sports you can't have anything without a scandal anymore, can you?
No.
But I don't even know where to go with this. Obviously, a lot of the details of it, we can't even in good conscience talk about it on this show.
No,
it's just,
can't.
I mean, it's sad.
The whole gist of this thing, you would think of all universities, that have been through what they've been through, the guy that was the face of their program goes out so disgraced, ends up dying because of it, tears his statue down, takes his statue down out, Joe Paterno, and then they fight to get through all of that stuff, and then now this rears its ugly head where a former player, Humphreys, is the guy that's accusing Penn State. He's named Franklin and 3 other players in this lawsuit. And look, man, why would you go to this extreme and say some of the things he's saying about what went on? Why would you make that up with knowing that if you're outright lying about this, that it's going to come out and you're going to be ruined the rest of your life? I mean, just the guts to finally come out and say some of the stuff he's saying. I mean, this is just the same as all that Sandusky stuff to me, Andy. I mean, when you read this USA Today article and you hear. And James Franklin doesn't need to be worried about getting fired. He needs to worry about if he's going to go to prison. If some of these players are going to end up doing that, if they sat back and allowed stuff like this to go on and they encouraged it and they turned a blind eye to it. I don't know where it'll go. You're right. But, I mean, just the fact that Penn State's name is being tied to another sexual hazing type deal is not good at all.
Well, again, if James Franklin knew that this kind of thing was going on, and it is, I mean, it's just I mean, it's ugly any way you look at it. But if he knew that he was going on, that this was going on, and he is so tone deaf not to realize that this has to be put a stop to immediately, then he gets everything he deserves.
What is the new rule in the NCAA that, you know, coaches are fully responsible for everything that goes on in their program? They can't use ignorance anymore as an excuse. I didn't know. It doesn't matter if you really knew or not. You end up being responsible for it. And James Franklin's ultimately responsible for what goes on in his football program. So you use the term tone deaf. If anybody said anything to him at some point in time that this is possibly going on and he didn't do anything, he's liable. I mean, right out of the gate. And it's bad. And the point I was going to go to before we went to break, and we'll get off this unless people want to make comments on, we got some other comments coming in on some other things, primarily the baseball scandal we opened up the program with, that the loss of faith in humanity. And these coaches come in and they tell you they're going to take care of your kid, and this, you know, this is, you trust me, I'm going to be like their father figure away from their home and all that. And then you hear about this kind of crap going on, man. It makes you leery. I'm not saying that goes on everywhere. I mean, there's some great people and great programs and people do it right. But, you know, James Franklin out there waving a banner and saying that, hey, why wouldn't you come to Penn State? We do it right here. I care about the players. I want to see their best interest, you know, taken to heart. And then this comes out. We'll hear more on that later on.
Look at what they do, not what they say. You know. Yeah, let's move on to more.
Let's get into Auburn talk.
Let's go to better things. We open up. Randy says, "What do you think about the new O-line coach?" Jack Bicknell Jr. comes over from Ole Miss. Kind of run down. He's been a journeyman. He's been in the business for quite a while. I think 30 years worth of experience. Been back and forth from college to the NFL. One thing I thought was interesting. He was with the Giants, and Eli Manning was so impressed with him because of what he did and the way he worked with the offensive line that he said, "Hey, Matt Luke, you need to hire this guy," and that's how he got the job at Ole Miss. So that in itself, if a quarterback in the NFL is so impressed with the work that he did with the offensive line, that would be a pretty good. Recommendation.
Well, why did Eli Manning tell him to leave New York and go to Ole Miss?
Well, he was the assistant O-line coach for the Giants.
Just to give him a promotion.
Yeah.
Well, in your opinion, how has Ole Miss's offensive line been the last 4 years?
Well, I know John Reese Plumlee ran wild this year.
He did. People knew he was going to run it.
Yeah. Now that was a lot of that's due to him. I give him a lot of the credit, but I don't recall Ole Miss being a juggernaut running the football. But then again, Hugh Freeze, never really tried. So thinking back to the Matt Luke, I guess that'd be the last 2 years.
Last 2 years.
I don't know.
I don't know enough to pass judgment. I just don't. I mean,
yeah.
And time will tell. I mean, you hope that Gus Malzahn made the right decision here.
Hopefully so. Can we be a lot worse?
Who knows?
We'll see. We're up against another break here on the Auburn Blitz.
It'll be bad if we are.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after these messages.
At Mortgage Pro, we won't be able to finance a new car or new boat. We can't open you a checking account. Mortgage Pro specializes in mortgage loans. If you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance your current home, the only way to go is Mortgage Pro. We can close in 15 days or less. We can offer the best rates in the mortgage industry. And we can waive appraisal fees on any new loan from September 1st until December 31st. Call Mortgage Pro today.
Hey Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local Cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
I am Lisa McClendon from Country Financial, and I have spent years in our community helping people protect their homes, cars, and lives. I am proud to be a member of the 2018 National Championship Team and a National Advisory Council member for Country Financial. Complete financial security does not end with just insurance. I am also here to help you plan for your financial future.
Together, we can help you set up a step-by-step plan to reach financial security.
Let's talk soon.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control for generations, and now with EnviroCare, you can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs. EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. EnviroCare's Centricon system protects your home year-round. Call the professionals at EnviroCare throughout East Central Alabama for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you for about 30 more minutes in today's show. Auburn travels to Tuscaloosa tonight. The undefeated number 4 Auburn Tigers will take on the 8-7 Alabama Crimson Tide. 8 o'clock on ESPN2. Some comments coming through talking about the game. Stephen, very confident, says Auburn wins by 15 tonight in Tuscaloosa. Let's see. Stephen also says Ole Miss was subpar in the run game, so how could we be we couldn't be a lot worse than we were the last couple of years on the offensive line. I shudder to say that. Maybe we can be. We'll find a way. But here's what Bruce Pearl had to say about it. He said, "We definitely recognize our rivalry. There is no question. We accept it, and the games mean more. It means more when we play Georgia." I like that he used that one first, by the way. "It means more when we play Alabama. It means more when we play Kentucky because of their history. But I think 2 things. One, so far we've been excited about playing everybody every night, and it's been a key to our success. Will there come a time at some point during the season where we don't have the same effort and energy, and that's what gets us beat because of what we do defensively and rebounding does not work without tremendous effort and energy? I suppose that's bound to happen when you play a certain number of games. It hasn't happened to us yet." So he says, look, it's a rivalry game. Alabama's going to be fired up. It's going to be a hostile environment. He did say, though, it wasn't a sellout, and he was encouraging Auburn people to buy tickets. But, that's one thing I've been most impressed with Auburn is they do consistently come out. They haven't really had a game where they just – that one against Mississippi State was kind of a dud for the first 10 minutes, but it really had nothing to do with effort. It was just the fact that they couldn't make the ball go in the hole.
That's right. Just don't get off to a slow start. If you don't get off to a slow start, I think Auburn, settles in and probably takes the crowd out of it. It is going to be rabid at the start, but if they get down 16-4 or something like they're accustomed to getting down, the hill they've had to overcome and climb in these last few games is going to be tenfold over there in Tuscaloosa. It just is not going to be the same, and of course their players are going to feed off the crowd. They're giving away white hard hat, construction hats with an A on it. They're giving away Crimson Chaos T-shirts. So if you don't think this isn't big to them, you're crazy. Nate Oates comes out and kind of takes a shot back at Anthony McLemore for a quote that he had. Anthony McLemore, something to the effect where he likes to, one of his favorite places to play is the Coleman Coliseum because he likes watching the fans leave dejected. And Nate Oates said, well, we'll see if it's his favorite place after tomorrow night. So a little banter back and forth there. And
Auburn's won, I think, the last 2 times they've been to Coleman.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, but they've only won. I think
it's not a good record.
The record
overall.
up there total is awful. I mean, it's horrendous.
Yeah.
I mean, so but yes, Auburn swept Alabama last year. I think 2 years ago they lost in Coleman Coliseum. That was when that ice storm, all that snow came, and they played the game anyway, and Auburn ended up not playing real well, lost by 4 or 5 points. But for the most part, when you look at it on paper, Randy kind of broke it down yesterday, and he said, this team's 8-7. They have no inside presence whatsoever. It should be set up for Wiley to have a good game inside, for Auburn to exploit that. If Auburn can dominate Alabama inside, even if Alabama's hitting threes, they can kind of offset some of that stuff. But Alabama scores 83 points a game. Auburn scores 82 points a game. The difference is in what they give up. Auburn's giving up about 60-something, 65, 66 points a game. Alabama's giving up right at 78 points a game. So their differential between points scored and points given up is pretty close. So Auburn plays great defense, and they'll be in Petty's face. They'll be guarding Kyra Lewis tough, and if they can create their own shots and make some tough shots, then kudos, tip your hat to them. But they have not played a team that will play defense the way Auburn plays tonight.
Who do you think is the most important to really get a handle on? Is it John Petty? Is it Kyra Lewis? Shackelford has been good this year, 12 points a game.
Kyra Lewis is the mainstay. He's the guy that's going to be your stalwart every night. He's going to be the consistent guy, averaging about 16. It's Petty that going off from behind the three-point line. He's shooting almost 50% from the three-point arc. That scares you. If he catches and shoots, and he's a rhythm shooter, a transition three shooter, and Auburn doesn't get back on defense and he gets some open looks, he can make you pay for them. Like you said, Shackelford has already had a big game at home this year. I think he had over 20 against Richmond in Coleman Coliseum, so he's capable of putting up big numbers as well. But that's their 3 main scoring threats. When you look down at their size, 6'9", Javian Davis and Galen Smith, one's averaging 7 points a game, the other one's averaging 2.9 points a game. They don't have an inside presence. They have to be good from outside to have a chance to win.
Yeah. You think Auburn switches defense pretty much every trip down the floor. They do a lot of switching, but I wonder if Okoro will be on John Petty.
I think Okoro is going to guard him a lot, and I think Flanagan's going to guard him a lot because they're probably the best 2 defenders Auburn has. John Petty's small. He's tall. He's 6'5", 6'6", but he only weighs about 185 pounds. So he's thin. Okoro and Flanagan are big guys. They muscle you up. They knock you around. Can Petty kind of take that beating tonight? I think that's who you're going to see defend John Petty outside.
It'll be an interesting matchup. And like you say, Auburn's got the inside presence. That should make a big difference. Alabama's got to be the mindset of let's trade 2s for 3s. And if you do that most of the night, you're going to win, clearly. That's what Bruce has been talking about. This is a very good shooting team. They're a very up-tempo team. They can gas you. So, can Auburn's defense continue to maintain? Can they come out with the same kind of intensity and match that early in the game? You feel like if Auburn, the same formula, holds true, that they kind of weather the storm on the road to begin with, and they've been kind of taking control of the game probably about 5 or 6 minutes into the second half, and you really hadn't looked back.
And when the game settles in, the physicality kind of takes over. Georgia was gassed midway through the second half, and you could see it. A lot of teams just don't have that depth Auburn has, and the rotation, and Alabama's just not very deep. And the pace of the game, the intensity on defense could wear them down.
Up against another break here on the Auburn Blitz, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more. Take your comments right after this.
Hi, I'm Kurt Bowman, General Manager of Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga.
And I'm Coco. Do you owe more on your vehicle than it's worth? Are you stuck with high interest rates? We may be able to help.
If you've made your last 12 consecutive payments on time and would like to get a new vehicle for the same or close to the same payment and save thousands of dollars in interest, you may qualify.
So come by and see us and let us show you the Vaden way.
Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga, located on Highway 280 in Sylacauga.
Be the hostess with the mostest this holiday season at Chicken Salad Chick with our easy party catering. Need a quick appetizer? Stop by Chicken Salad Chick and grab a quick chick of any chicken salad flavor or the pimento cheese ball covered with crushed pecans and crispy bacon. Remember, no meal is complete without a sweet treat. For a limited time, our pumpkin cheesecake is back and it's delicious. Chicken Salad Chick can feed any holiday crowd with our custom fit catering. 12 flavors of chicken salad, there's sure to be something for every taste bud.
Tires are important, and when getting a great price on tires, you want to get it right. So make the short drive to Wright's Tire in Sylacauga. Wright's Tire can get you any make or model of tire, and they make the drive worth it with volume pricing. Whether North Tallapoosa, South Talladega, or Coosa County, make the right choice, the right selection, the right service, and the right price. All at Wright's Tire on Fort William Street in Sylacauga. Call for a free quote, 256-245-7778, and get the right price on tires.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Since the dawn of time, mankind has needed tools. But not all tools are created equal. AGF Machine Rental Sales and Service has tools for all commercial construction or big residential projects. AGF Machinery offers the most durable and hardworking brands of ASV, Skyjack, and Wacker Neusen. Aerial lifts, scissor lifts, loaders, excavators, and forest equipment on demand for the best possible price. And backed by the Southeast's best team of professionals. Visit any of our strategic locations across Alabama for all your equipment needs. Or online at agfmachinery.com.
Expect it or not, the loss of a loved one is difficult. Put your family first by planning ahead. This is Joseph Dean, new owner of Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers. We are a full-service funeral home with an on-site crematory and cemetery. Whether your need is immediate or you would like to plan in advance, our experienced, compassionate staff can assist you in designing an enduring memorial experience, burial, or cremation. Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers on Highway 280 in Camp Hill or online, alabamafuneralhomes.com.
Harbor Point Ship Store has everything to make your day on the lake more enjoyable. Come on out to the biggest marina on the water. They have pizza, hot dogs, burgers, and more. Get your gas, groceries, snacks, ice, and everything you need for a fun day on the lake. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned boat? Harbor Point has the best selection around of everyone's favorite Crest pontoons and Four Winds boats. Harbor Point also has a great selection of pre-owned boats. Come on out and take a look at Harbor Point, Marina Point Road in Dadeville. Get to the point.
You already know the power and reliability of a Mahindra tractor. Get ready to meet their ATV and UTV lines. Haul more and tow more. Do more. Reaching speeds up to 60 miles an hour. Models have a 12-inch ground clearance and the ability to haul up to 1,200 pounds. There's a Mahindra utility vehicle and a model specifically to get the job done. Test drive today at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. serving Tallapoosa, Coosa, Clay, and Talladega counties. 256-392-3613.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you for just a couple more segments in today's show. Steven says, look, our offense was the problem last year, and we go out and get an OC that was the head coach of the worst SEC team and get an O-line coach who was at a school with a not-so-good run game. Look, that's true.
It's all smokescreen, right?
That's true, but
Marvin said
we all optimistic about it, but when the reality is that's the truth.
Marvin said must not be that big of a game. Always long-time supporting Bama fans, according to Tide Color guy Brian Passing. If it's not a sellout, laugh out loud, according to Marvin. So
yeah. Must not be that big of a game. It's not even a sellout. Auburn hires Tim Hudson as a baseball coach, pitching coach. We mentioned that to start the show. Tim Hudson obviously been around the program for a while now, been back at Auburn. I mean, really, he spent 1 year at Auburn, right? Played 1 year at Auburn, right?
97, yeah.
I mean, and yet did he grow up an Auburn fan? I mean, he is the most all-in Auburn guy as far as a major big-time athlete.
He went to Glenwood Academy over there, close to Phoenix City. So he's been around this.
He went to what, CVC?
Went to Chattahoochee Valley Community College and then ended up at Auburn in 1997. That was in the heart of when I was working in media relations. I didn't miss a game that year at home. And, he said it's the single greatest season by an SEC baseball player. I mean, he won the pitching award, he won the fielding award, and he won the hitting award. How do you do that?
I think he had 98 RBIs.
He did.
That's
and he had over 20 home runs.
Unheard of.
And then he just went on the mound and mowed everybody down.
And he may have had a two something ERA in with Gorilla Ball.
I mean,
that's just insane.
He was phenomenal. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, if you got a kid now, coming up and pitching, and you got Greg Olson as a graduate assistant as well. So you got those two guys working with you as a pitcher now at Auburn. I hope it works out well, for Auburn, and I trust Butch implicitly at this point. So I think he's going to do. He wouldn't have hired if he didn't think he could do the job.
No, for sure.
Auburn announced they got a new volleyball coach as well. We don't talk about women's volleyball here on the Auburn Blitz, but you know what?
The first time
it's a sport at Auburn, and they have a new coach. Brent Crouch comes over from Southern Cal. He's been there for 2 years. He has a history of he took over a program. I think was it St. Mary's. I think they were 0-27. 0-27. And I believe in 4 years he had them being like 18-14. So he's got a reputation to be able to build a program. Auburn hasn't been great. They haven't been terrible under the previous regime. But Rick Nold, he decided to step aside after 9 years, after a 7-22 season where they went 1-17 in the SEC. Now, Auburn volleyball has not been great, so I look back just
neither was our
because
softball
I had
program.
time. This is true. From 2000 to 2010, Auburn had a record in conference of 40-154. That's not good. So he's got a lot. I mean, look. I mean, Auburn's. It's been proven with the softball program. You can come in immediately and take something that hasn't been very competitive
15 and 16
into a national champion type team.
Well, I mean,
basketball has been proven. Why not volleyball?
Well, that's kind of my point about softball.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody was into softball at Auburn until When Clint Myers got there, he turned the program around. Now you expect Auburn softball to be one of the top programs.
Exactly.
It's how quickly you can go from the cellar to the top. And
not women's basketball. Not
man. Where did you expect that?
Falling off the map here.
It really has.
But they got blown out at home by Alabama. That's kind of
when you get blown out by Alabama in women's basketball, you ain't very good.
Yeah.
And Auburn had a lead at the end of the first quarter, by the way, of that game.
Oh yeah.
And ended up getting blown out.
I was in school at the same time as Tim Hudson. Yes, went to several baseball games during that time. That was a really, really fun team to watch. In 1997, they had so many good players on that team.
Yeah, I could not remember the whole roster.
But they were really, Scott Etheridge on the team.
Casey
right?
Dunn.
Casey Dunn. They were very, very good. Hit the ball extremely well, but Hudson was obviously just incredible. Especially since he's about 5'10" and 160
Brian Hepson,
pounds.
Brian Hepson, Tim Hudson, your top two pitchers on that team. Just a loaded. I mean, hit the ball well. Everybody just it was a World Series team. So I mean, you knew what you had. But Tim Hudson was definitely the guy that stood out. He won he was Player of the Year in the SEC that year.
And deservedly so.
Right.
And David Ross on that team.
David Ross on that team.
Hit a big home run.
In the Florida State game.
Did you see the video of Odell Beckham handing out cash to LSU players? LSU's put out a statement that says, nothing to see here. It was fake money.
Fake money.
That's what they say.
Yeah, who's out there handing out fake money? And if you are, why are you doing that?
I mean, clearly, who knows? I don't know what goes on in the mind of Odell Beckham. He said he's his own kind of cat.
Well, speaking of guys that are off the wagon, what about Antonio Brown's latest? I mean, it goes live on Facebook with a domestic issue with a girl that obviously he's got kids with, and then the kids are out there in the street getting in the cop car, and I mean, you just feel sorry for those kids, man. The guy's a nut. The guy's crazy. I mean, he just, whatever all you saw in the video was her standing by a police car and trying to get the kids out of the way. I don't know, man. That guy's he ain't helping himself in the public eye.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Who wants that guy on their team?
Nobody, apparently. Bobby Petrino, hired by Missouri State. FCS Missouri State.
Is this the climb back to prominence?
Hey, it's the same conference with North Dakota State and South Dakota State, Northern Iowa and Youngstown State, so very competitive conference. The Missouri Valley Conference in FCS. They went 1-10 this year, Missouri State, so you got to work it out to do it. We'll be back with one final segment right after these messages.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local Cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control for generations, and now with EnviroCare, you can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs. EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. EnviroCare's Centricon system protects your home year-round. Call the professionals at EnviroCare throughout East Central Alabama for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Hey Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
Mortgage Pro is the new standard for mortgage loans. While other banks are taking 45 to 60 days to close a loan, Mortgage Pro is making it happen in less than 15 days. Your mortgage loan goes from start to finish in less than 15 days. Mortgage Pro is able to make this happen by having the most advanced technology and a highly trained staff with over 98 years combined experience. If you're looking to buy a home or refinance your current mortgage, call Mortgage Pro and let our team go to work for you.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Wednesday afternoon. Ole Miss falls to Florida last night in Gainesville. Season not beginning quite like last year for Kermit Davis there at Ole Miss.
No.
Seems like it may have not well. I don't know what they lost, but
we got the season off to win over us.
Big time win last year.
I remember that show.
And beat us by what, 15 or something?
I remember that show.
Yeah.
I came in just saying, well.
You were distraught.
Well, I was. I mean, I'm like, man, you go on the road and lose.
It was a bad loss. But I mean, Ole Miss turned out to be, they were pretty good to start that season.
Not this year.
No. LSU goes on the road to Texas A&M. Texas A&M's getting better. Was it Buzz Williams? He's doing a pretty good job there. But takes overtime, but LSU gets it done. 89 to 85.
Boy, LSU's
they
winning
are
some
formidable.
squeakers, aren't they?
They are. Hit a buzzer beater to beat Mississippi State. And speaking of the Bulldogs, they desperately needed a win, and they got one over Missouri. How do you explain Missouri? Missouri scores 91 on Florida and runs him out of the gym, and then can't even score but 45.
To a team that's 0-3.
It's weird.
That just tells you about this conference.
And some inconsistency there for sure. Kentucky's on the road at South Carolina. And that'll be the kind of game South Carolina could probably win. But I would probably go with Kentucky. But you never know. Duke goes down last night.
What about Duke getting beat last night? What about a week for Clemson? North Carolina, of course, North Carolina's terrible this year.
They're not good.
I mean, they are terrible. I mean, they are literally, it hurts me to say
They may not make the tournament.
They're not in any projections to make the tournament. How bad is that? You know, and Roy Williams said something to the effect after not this past loss, the one before, he said, well, this is the least talented team I've ever coached.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so sorry.
That's your fault.
That is your fault. And how about that tells me that if you can't go out and get 5 McDonald's All-Americans, you aren't worth the darn as a coach.
That's what
I'm serious.
I asked Caleb about last night. We did a little segment on the show. I said, will the freshmen right now on North Carolina, when they graduate, will Roy Williams be their coach?
I don't think he will.
Think his time is coming to an end?
I think it's coming to an end.
He sounds like a guy that's about ready to hang it up.
He does. I mean, when you make statements like, well, this was the least talented team I've ever coached, I mean, that's your fault.
Would you hear him in the press conference the other day? He said, no, I think they ought to fire me. Yeah, I did such a poor job. I didn't help my team. He's the biggest whiner.
He is. He ain't any bigger than Dabo. I mean, those
they're
two
on the same
sit there
page,
and elbow
for
each other
sure.
and see who can be the biggest whiner. But Clemson gets 2 big wins. One, I mean, Duke. So if Auburn hangs on, finishes this week, and it's tough. They got to go to Alabama tonight and then Florida Saturday. But if they win, they're in top 3. They're in top 3 in the country.
Yeah.
Man, just keep moving.
Tennessee
up,
is on the road at Georgia. Georgia should win this one. They need to win this one at home. Tennessee's
I'm not
reeling
sure
a
they're
little
going to
bit.
win. I'm not sure.
Think so?
That's going to be interesting. I think it'll be close.
Vanderbilt is on the road at Arkansas. Arkansas playing well. Again, Vanderbilt.
That's going to be a bad loss for them.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's just
Good gosh.
losing their best player 2 years in a row. That ain't Christian. On this day, 1892, the rules of basketball are first published in Triangle magazine by James Naismith. Basketball was basically born on this day, 1892.
Big day for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Changed a lot of people's futures.
Yeah. First NFL All-Star game played at Wrigley Field. On this day, 1939, the Giants beat an All-American All-Stars team. I think they ought to do like that.
Giants played an All-Star.
I think they ought to do that more often. I think that'd be pretty cool. Get an All-Star team together from college, let them play a Pro Bowl team or something. That'd be neat. 1964, Willie Mays becomes the highest paid Major League Baseball player in history at that time, $105,000 a year.
A lot of money.
How times have changed.
A lot of money in 64.
How much did we sign for here? 30 million, 35 million? Who got this biggest contract, the pitcher? I can't.
Wait a minute. Garrett Cole?
Yeah. How much was it? Was it 40 million? I don't know.
Ridiculous.
1967, Super Bowl won. On this day, January the 15th, 1967, the Packers and the Chiefs, 35-10, the Green Bay wins that one. Could get a rematch this year. It's possible. AFC and NFC title games.
That's who you're looking. That's
what I want to see.
You want to see a rematch of Super Bowl one?
That'd be cool. I think that'd be neat. 1997, I know you remember this. Dennis Rodman kicks cameraman Eugene Amos in the groin during a game against the T-Wolves. He ultimately paid Amos $200,000 in a settlement and was suspended 11 games. Don't you miss Dennis Rodman?
Man, he'd had to pay me more than that. That crap hurt. He violently kicked him.
He kicked him pretty good. I mean, it wasn't a field goal kick, but it was he kicked him pretty good.
I mean, he was on the ground and
Rodman he
didn't know what he was going to do.
He's an Antonio Brown. He's one of the weirdest.
He's a loose screw, man.
Golly, he's one of the weirdest. Did you see the 30 for 30 on him?
I did.
Bizarre.
About his daughter, just like she's like, man, I just don't really have a relationship with her.
Would you want one?
No. I mean, it's just weird though. I mean, she actually seems to be nice and trying to do great by her kids.
Some sort of normalcy.
Did he say he didn't want anything to do with the grandkids? Is that what he said?
I don't think he said he can't love.
That's what it was.
I mean, it's like, wow.
So I can't really love my children.
That's just sad.
But he can go hang out with Kim Jong-un.
And strippers.
In North Korea.
Yeah.
But there's no love.
No. Happy birthday today, Ray Chapman, posthumously. The only Major League Baseball player to die from an injury received during the game. He got hit in the head and died a couple of days later. And it took 35 more years for them to implement that you had to wear a helmet. 35 years after a guy died on the field,
Tough times back in.
Really. Happy birthday, Lloyd Bridges, one of the funniest guys ever. He was also an airplane. Looked like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. Rodney Van Zant, lead singer of Lynyrd Skynyrd, born on this day, 1948, tragically died in a plane crash. Randy White, big-time linebacker, played for Dallas, MVP of the Super Bowl, I believe. One of the ones they won. Also had a quarterback named Randy White. Not the same guy. I just like this name.
I knew that's what it was.
Cess Vander de Linden. It's like he's got one extra little.
He wants to.
Cess Vander de Linden.
Could we do without the der or the day?
I think we could, but wouldn't be quite as good.
He would have made your list.
He would not. Dutch soccer player. Drew Brees, happy birthday, 1979. And Pitbull, that guy has made a career out of basically doing nothing. God bless him. He was born on this day, 1981. And unfortunately, Jimmy Superfly Snuka died on this day, 2017. It's going to do it for us. For Brett Pritchard, I'm Andy Graham. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.